Well, what a difference a day makes. Extraordinary scene in Washington in the Oval Office, and because of this diplomatic debris, more than ever, pressure on Keir Starmer, the UK Prime Minister, really on this London summit. But a very positive, constructive meeting, a lot of warmth. Indeed, the Prime Minister came out of that famous black door, number 10, and gave a big hug to President Zelensky and immediately drew his attention to the cheers that had gone up just outside the gates of number 10, very much to say that the UK, Ukraine has the full backing of the United Kingdom. Then very warm words in front of the cameras, briefly, very much appreciated by President Zelensky. President Zelensky, who had requested, I understand, a meeting with the head of state of the United Kingdom, King Charles, and who has indeed obtained it. That had to be, of course, approved by the UK government. So interesting and very constructive, very positive. That defence loan also announced last night. So a lot of warmth, a lot of backing, and it's hoped that there'll be much more backing in the London summit that'll be happening here at Lancaster House.
Yes, indeed, that summit involving NATO members, senior EU figures and around a dozen or more than a dozen European leaders. What more can we expect to come out of it?
Yes, over a dozen EU leaders, as you said, the Secretary General of NATO, also, of course, the EU represented by Ursula von der Leyen, and also we've got the Canadian Prime Minister now, Justin Trudeau. So really top of the agenda will be the security guarantees that very much Keir Starmer and before him President Macron went to talk about in Washington with President Trump. Europe's defence capabilities, as the US, it seems, very much is wanting to step back and, of course, seeking those security guarantees and concrete action, not just warm words. We will be watching the final press conference extremely closely to see what hands in pockets and promises, commitments are actually being made. And, of course, repairing that relationship between President Zelensky and President Trump. But very much about seeing if Europe can really step up to the plate. And, of course, Keir Starmer, who sees himself as a bridge between the United Kingdom and the US. How will that translate today? And that is the very big question. So a lot of pressure. It was always going to be a big summit. But now this summit just got even more crucial, and its outcome and what then will follow in the days to come. Crucial for Ukraine, crucial for the EU, and of course this now Brexit United Kingdom that is not in the EU but is very much part of Europe, and of course that big question about possible British and French troops on the ground at some point, perhaps with its hopes some US air cover. A lot of questions, a lot of pressure. Will they deliver?